Next stop, 500 miles down the road to the next Love's.
Next stop what?
Love's truck stop. 500 miles from now.
Hmm.
Guess you wonder what that deal
Super
is.
sleeper?
It goes to my strap antenna. Best antenna I've ever had, but it don't work in here.
Alright, super trucker.
Speaking of super truckers, he just dropped in the trailer. Is all he's doing.
Still can wait.
He's waiting. He's waiting. Oh, that sure is good Dr. Pepper. I might be able to make it another mile or two now. Whew, thank you.
You're not good for us soda quitters.
You know me when I'm driving. Got to have my DP. Well, Florida's finest, DOT.
In a peacock.
Commercial, weight, and something. Enforcement, that's the word I'm looking for. And they do enforce. Just about Christmas time, and I was coming back from Florida. 95, I think, I was headed up to Jacksonville. And there was 3 southbound bears. I was going northbound. I looked in my mirror, and they all 3 hit the bridge, turned around chasing after me. I had Christmas lights strung up on my truck, which I did every year.
It was a no-no.
They wanted to come up and check me out. They had me there on the side of the road for an hour and a half, checking everything I had and all my logs. I was empty, so they didn't check my weight. And they checked the inside of the truck. They didn't really do a thorough search, but they had to stick their nose in and see what was going on. Walked around it, did all their good stuff. And they said, we're going to have to write you a ticket for those lights on your truck, or you'll have to take them off. I said, those are Christmas lights. They're on my grill. Yeah, but they're unauthorized lights. I said, I'm authorizing them. They said, well, you can't have them here. I said, show me the law. So he looked at the other cop, and the other cop looked at him. They said, we'll be right back. I thought, oh, man, I stepped in it now. So they went back and apparently checked with their sergeant or whoever it was. Yeah, see. Came back, gave him my driver's license, and said, have a good day and Merry Christmas. But guess who was trying to get to their appointment for a pickup? That was me, Jacksonville. I don't remember if I was late or not. Yeah, I did. Merry Christmas. But that's the frustrating thing is, that load could have got me home for Christmas with my family, and that little hour and a half pissing match they had could have kept me from doing it. If I didn't have a load, I'd been stuck here in Florida. And I must have made it in time. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Welcome back if you're just watching part 2. Love's in Florida. We just stopped at Love's, topped off our tanks, our bubbly tank and our fuel tank. Now we're ready to get back at it. Miss Tiffany.
This thing has a light.
We'll get wobbly for a minute. I'll plug my power cord back in. There we go. Now we're good. So we're on Highway 10 going east toward Pensacola, Tallahassee. Catch 75 going south to Sarasota. I think we're still 500 plus miles out. Should be there between 20 and 2100 East Coast time. You recognize this place, don't you, Bob? You probably didn't hear me. U.S. Navy Blue Angels. I don't know if we made mention of it. We gathered up some donations from neighbors and friends, daughter, for hurricane victims down here. Not a lot, but if everybody would just do something. Anyway, that's one of the things we're going to be doing down here, dropping off dry goods. We're going to try and do a little interview with him, see if we get him some airtime on their sites and social networking places to where you can either send them money or something, some way to help them out. We did not want to take any donations monetarily for this trip because I really wouldn't know who to send it to, and it's just best to give them the stuff they need right off the first rattle out of the box. $170 miles to Tallahassee. You don't realize how big Florida is until you start stepping off point A to point B. So almost 3 hours to Tallahassee still. He made it to 75 at that point. But we sure will see a bunch of damage from Helene. Everybody pronounced it different. Hurricane Helene from around that area. We went into Cedar Key. I've been to Cedar Key several times. Beautiful, beautiful little cove, hidden away. Not a lot of people know about it. And I found out from the locals down there that was in Jimmy Buffett's early days. That was his one of his favorite secret hideouts. He could go there and not a lot of people would know who he is. He could just be himself. Another little boardwalk town is great. A little brackish. That's one of the highest oyster cultivation areas in the Florida coast, west coast area. So of course we had to partake in some of them oysters. I'm going to partake in them somewhere down here. Love me some oysters. Sing, baby. I need some background music. This is the truth. The first 20 years we were married, I was scared to death that she'd get discovered, become famous, and, you know, she would no longer need my good looks. Come on, y'all, that was funny. I love Florida, but Florida drivers are a breed of their own down here. Of course, driving habits have got bad all over the nation. I guess my pet peeve in Florida, not really on 10, but you get on 95 and 75, they love to get in this left-hand lane and run between 63 and 65. Of course, that's not the speed limit. But they'll get beside a truck that's going 63 or 65 and just stay there, and you'll ride 45 minutes before they'll finally get to their exit. Just part of it. All you can do is just get your feet up on the dash and enjoy the scenery. Be patient. Traveling like this, I normally have the Waze app and my Google Maps going, and I try to communicate with other drivers, let them know there's a car on the shoulder or whatever. You can make those posts on alerts, whatever they call them. Helps out other drivers, just like you would on a CB. I found a lot of times a Waze driver will report police or accident before you ever hear it on the CB radio. So another part of the industry that's gone to hell. Doesn't make sense. The companies of these big road gangs, they will prohibit a driver from using a CB, won't even let them put it in the truck, but they're on the cell phones. Everybody knows a cell phone is much more dangerous than a CB ever will be. In fact, so many, you've seen these tens of however many vehicles pile up. A lot of it could be prevented, especially when you see a truck 65 miles an hour barrel into completely stopped other vehicles, killing people. Be preventative. People just start running the CB again. So after all, that is what my channel's about, trucking and CBs. See one like in here already. If anybody's on here, can you put some kind of comment and let me know that the comment section is open? Just a 1 or a 2 or a... I guess it don't really matter if you can't put it in. Comments aren't active, then you can't post anything. Not a lot of scenery between here and 75. You're looking at it. Hills and pine trees. A straight line. If y'all are a fan of these little three-wheeled carts, it'd be more fun to ride in a car. Of course, I've never rode one to know if I'd like it or not. It looks about as dry here as it is in Texas. I guess they got all the rain in the main part of the state. Sorry, I had a Dr. Pepper, needed some severe attention. About 4 months ago, I bought three I can't even remember the name of them. They're like a moonraker type antenna, big 20-footer aluminum, and been trying to figure out how to piece them all together, because that's how I bought them. They was all in pieces. Figure out which piece goes here and which piece goes there. And 21SC, South Carolina, told me, he said, man, I'd put that stuff aside instead of trying to put it all together and tune it up and clean it up and just get you a good $8.99, Antron 99, be done with it. Beach Police, Crime Patrol. Anyway, I got a good friend. He's been a friend for 30 years. And he never drove a truck, but he picked up the hobby of CBs, and he works on them. And he's, I don't know if you call him an official tech, but he definitely knows his stuff. I've seen the results of the work that he does. And it's Big John out of Dallas. He's got call signs. I think he's got his ticket. Anyway, I got three bases I got him looking at right now. One is my 2000, one is my 142. The 142 is the one that I was trying to restore. I got it all cleaned up. It looked like bloody hell. And the guy I bought it from had it in storage, and mice had chewed through the cord. And apparently it was plugged in when they did it, and it shorted out the transmit anyway. So he's working on that for me. But I'm also giving a base radio to Perry. I used to drive with him at Blitz Transportation. That's the last official trucking company I worked for. And he's a Vietnam vet, heck of a nice guy. He's kind of wheelchair bound right now. He still gets up and around with a walker, but he lives close over there by Springtown in Texas. So 287, 51, something else over there. He gets a lot of truck traffic, but he doesn't have a CB where he could talk to him. So I've decided to donate a base radio, antenna, and coax, and etc. for him to be able to sit there in his wheelchair or bedside or whatever and still visit with other truck drivers. And yeah, he's all excited about that. So I'll be making a video about that. We're going to do that when we get back from Florida. And again, tip of the hat to the Vietnam vets. I was born in '57 and just barely missed the Vietnam War. I had, I think, three uncles and 4 cousins that served over there. So I was headed over there. I think the whole time I was going to school, that was what everybody my age was expecting. But yeah, you're going to get drafted and sent over there. And anyway, didn't have to do that, so I always want to show my appreciation to the actual Vietnam vets. I always give them a big thank you every time I see them, because they did what I didn't have to. Anyway, that'll be a good video to, I may break it in 2 parts, actually. The setup of the radio, hooking it up, and then I'd like to do an interview with his wife. And I talked to him on the phone, but he's, not only has he got several other issues, he's also got Alzheimer's, and his wife Donna said, well, he has good days and bad days. Some days he knows who you are, and that kind of thing. So I'll probably be asking her most of the questions of his service. And I got a friend that he was in the Army. He's going to help me set it up. He said he'd be glad to help out. Actually, Big John, the one that donated the Antron 99 to me, he's offered to come over and help. So I just make it a big party over there. Yeah, I'm excited about getting that up and running for him. Not going to try to be fancy with it. I've actually got 2 realistic Navajo base radios, and he's kind of tweaking it and tuning it for me, peaking it and tuning it, so to get out a little bit better. He'd be able to talk, and those are good hearing radios anyway, so he should be able to converse with several of the drivers over there. But anyway, so when I get back, I got that project, and then I've got that 899. I'm going to get that thing stood up. Man, I'm super excited about that. My biggest interest is 10, 11 meters, so I'll be able to do pretty much anything I want to do on any of my base radios. I've got a few amateur radios. That's one right there. I've got 3 Galaxies. I've got the DX99V, I've got the 55V, and I've got the 949. And I actually forgot that was sideband also, so I may have to knock the dust off of that and play with that for a while. They don't have the 55 volts like the 99V does, but it still reaches right out there. I think 27 watts or something like that. I don't know what he did. But I get that going, get my coax set up. I've got my desk about ready to get all my bases set up, so that'll be coming. Weather permitting, I'll have all the exterior stuff done and I can finish my setup inside. All right. Now we're almost 100 miles into Florida, and I still don't see any hurricane damage from Helene. is a good thing. Sound like something wasn't put away. Been keeping up with Foxman's videos. He's about 99.97% finished on his antenna. That's going to be a beast when he gets done. I think he's taken his beam, it's kind of ground level right now, down low, and putting it up on the tower. But I'm sure he'd be the one to ask about all that. Been checking out some of the channels that I haven't really gotten familiar with yet from 390 Wagon Master. Y'all go check him out. 21S.C. Dirty Dapper JT, South Carolina. Check him out. Popcorn, Cornbread, Dallas Rive. I start naming them and I know I'll forget them. JG Mopar, Rainmaker. Man, goes on and on. Mud Bucket, 267, UDX 267. Catalyst. You know, we talk every week on Mike 390 Wagon Master's channel. He has a live show and a live chat. We all converse back and forth. It's something I'm really impressed with 21SC's channel is he's really big into promoting full grown. Really big into promoting other channels. So if you're tagged into his show, he does a live on Saturday night. Go see him, check him out, and he does other videos too. That's his live broadcast. But he encourages all of his watchers and people who are in the chat to post their links so we'll know what their YouTube channel is. And I didn't know half these guys even had a YouTube channel because they've got, you know, a handle when they go onto the live chat. So I encourage anybody, if you're watching this, you got a YouTube channel or whatever your social network is, put it in the comments and I'll be glad to share it. That's what I like. I do the on Facebook. I do DX Empire, CB Lounge. I don't know who it is, but we don't need it. We don't recognize the number. Probably somebody wanting to give me $1 million. Sorry for the camera bouncing around. I'm watching traffic. Got pretty thick. Anyway, there's a bunch of them that I'm finding. I'm doing a deliberate search now with people that are getting into live chats. See if I can find them on a YouTube channel. I found some really good boat anchor. That's another one I'm trying to think of. Tube One, and I like to listen to Dennis on the old tube radio night. It's basically all the CBs that check in with him. They do a check-in call. Those are all old tube radios. They glow in the dark. must be picking up members on the way through. There wasn't that many the first time they passed me. How about the, I don't know what kind of bike club it is. They're not a registered one, just independents. For any of y'all that follow that kind of stuff. Ken Carlock. Go check out his channel. I just passed a car that had Illinois tags on it. He's from Central Illinois up there. Indiana Chris, there's another one. Seaweed. We just did a fundraiser for him. Got run over by a truck. We'll leave that at that. He's doing much better. 2112, the CB Lounge. We haven't heard from him in about a month. He was having some kind of surgery and not a single peep out of any kind of post about him. So we'll check out his channel. You can still get on his channel even though we haven't been able to hear from him. Nice clean windshield to work out of now. I made this trip so many times over the years. I used to come to Florida once a week. Really enjoyed that. Got to stay with Tammy's cousin several times when I was out here. I always made it a point when I was driving, if I got laid over for the weekend or even in the weekday, if I got laid over for a day or two, I'd drop that trailer and go find some blue water. You want to see a picture of the unit that we're in. It's a Discovery. I made a post this morning. Showed 3 pictures of the unit, all lit up and sparkly and shiny and everything. And you just go up there to the dashboard and look for community. It's the one at the far right. Slide over to the right. And you'll see a post over there, mostly pictures and stuff. Sometimes I put a link of another video or something in there. I don't use that enough. I think Mike uses the community to advertise his upcoming live streams. I know he's encouraged me to do that. I just am usually doing this. A little too busy to do much pre-editing before I get started. I see a lot of empty trailers on this trip. I don't know if they're taking them down here for people to run out or what. Excuse me. That air's not back. The air's not on back there. You want to check, make sure they're okay and comfortable.
You told me earlier it was comfortable.
Perfect.
Keep it free.
Fort Walton.
Fort Walton and Dustin Beach, next right.
We love Dustin. We got some pictures. We were there with Blitz one time. Maybe more than once. Another beach is just snow white sand. Other than a trailer, this is not much different than riding in a big truck. Same width. Full grown setup. Nope. Just a broke down. white top got me. So if you guys are in here watching, leave me a comment. What's your favorite radio? What's your favorite setup? Something else I found out about some of these guys in the chat rooms is some of them are truck drivers. I enjoy visiting with them and swapping Cold War stories. Mine go back to 92, I think. So 30 years ago. I got one radio, it's a Connex 3300. I bought it brand new. I think I bought it in 96. And it literally had over 2 million miles on it. That's just knucklehead doing. Motherboard got soft on it though. You could tell when it was getting weak, it would cut out. You can still hear it, but about half the audio and half the transmit. So I finally retired it. I still have it. I'll never get rid of it. Almost 20 years on that one radio. Comes up. Hammond down police officer. Woo! He's ripping that big old Hemi. Well, pray to God that keep our string running about no accidents. Good old Class C. Here comes the brake lights. Maybe they're just braking for him to get by. Looks to be the case. Hopefully he'll take an exit and go off on some other kind of emergency. Man, you couldn't ask for a nicer day. Not a single jet in the sky. Can you believe that? You don't see any of those contrails. You know that it's that white moisture condensation that comes out of the back of a jet. Some days the sky is just full of them, and that's the days that the jets fly. So there's no jets flying today, apparently. I don't see any. Yuck, yuck, yuck. I don't want to trigger anything for the algorithms to strike my channel. I call him algorithms because he's the inventor of the internet. Big plans of setting up a tripod on the dashboard, but as you can see, it's at a 45-degree angle straight down to the windshield. So I wasn't working too good. I'm going to be getting some footage of the hurricane damage, the debris, carnage and stuff. Inquiring minds want to know. I completely intend to get to the beach sometime and put my feet and toes in the water. Gather up some seashells. Get some salt in my skin. Look at all the chrome and chicken lights on that Freightliner. Wow. Still kind of like putting lipstick on a pig. Sorry. I'm a Peterbilt guy. Don't get me wrong, I've spent plenty of miles in a Freightliner. And Kenworth, and a Volvo. And International. A little bit in the Mac. So far, so good. No accident to report. No incident. I know what's going on before we ever see cops or anything. We've got isolated to private frequencies and stuff now, so you can't hear most of their conversations. Emerald Coast. Told Randy with Southwest RV, be shopping for another unit to buy down here. We'll drive two of them back this one and something he buys. He said he'd be looking around, so may do that. Sam's drove these big Class A's before, She can do it. Raise that blind up and give you a little more view of the beautiful blue sky. Stay Awake gummies. Found those a month or so ago. They got some kind of caffeine content to them, but they also open up your sinuses. Get fresh oxygen coming in. Look pretty good. And they don't make you pee. Keep in your lane there, dum-dum. There's another company you don't really want to trust. Prime. They all got good drivers, or they wouldn't stay in business. I did a couple different runs. They're called dedicated when you go back to the same place every week. To Washington, some up to Portland. Did every week. Going across Wyoming. It was nothing to see. 3 or 4 of their trucks and trailers laid on their side. It didn't have to be winter either. It could be dry roads and you can still see them run off in the ditches, laid over. Yeah, we still got a coach back there, still following along. Is today Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as far as I know, Mike, 390 Wagon Master, UDX 390, Utah City. He's going to have his live show tonight. He always screws me up with that mountain time. And then Dirty Dapper, he screws me up with the Eastern time. Popcorn, you can go on his channel anytime. He's always live. I like to watch mud buckets, video gates. There's only lasts about 4 or 6 minutes, so I think he's bashful. He's got quite the setup. I'm actually going to try to steal some of his ideas for a bass setup. I'm going to have probably 7 or 8 basses on the lower shelves, and then my top shelves will be different mobiles that I like. And I'll probably rotate them out. I've got 50 or 60 mobiles. I think I got 12 bass radios. I scored a box of microphones about 2 weeks ago. A woman had them advertised on Marketplace, and they're RCA microphones, General Electric microphones, and what's the other one? Anyway, real good expensive microphones, but they're on a fleet or something, and somebody just took the microphones off the radios. Anyway, she sold the entire box to me for $25, like 50 microphones in there. I'll post some pictures on my community. Maybe once one, I'll basically just, you'll pay for the shipping, I'll send you one. Send you two. Those are high dollar microphones. If you know anything about them, of course, they'd have to be rewired for your radio, but if you're not capable of doing that, take it down to a tech, and he can do it for you. I've always been a Turner mic myself. I got a couple of statics. In fact, I think I got a Turner on this one too. They're just a little bit too loud and tinny for my liking. I prefer the deep, rich sound of. And that was in mobiles. I've got 3 Turner plus 3 desk mics now. Got a Courier desk mic. I've got a Sears desk mic. Probably more impressed with that Sears desk mic than as far as condition. It looks brand new. Can't wait to get that sucker going. About 2 new radios just before we left out. One is a Realistic TR MOUSE. I don't remember what the numbers were on it. I got it from a good friend of mine. He's an electronic engineer, and he's he's probably been ham for 30 years. He's got every kind of ham radio you can think of. You walk into his garage and it's just a wall of radios. And that's not the wall that he works on. That's just his personal little collection. He's the one I bought the Johnson Whiteface from, Johnson Vacuum. And anyway, he sold me getting the radios backwards now. I think he's the one that sold me it's a 23 channel Realistic, but it's got extra channels put in it. There's 40 plus channels now, which big deal to me, but it's a good receiving radio. I still prefer actually my Connex 3300 had some of the best years I've ever had on the radio. And I got 2 or 3 148s. They're infamous for Basically, any of the Cobras have real good ears. Unit ends, and a unit in Grant. Just can't beat it. I got a black face GTL, and it's again top shelf for ears and transmit. Anybody keeping track of how many trucks I passed? Me either. Not sure when. Usually this time of year. My daughter Lacey, her birthday's on Halloween. In between Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas is just a blur. It flies by so fast, but I'm gonna try and get some stickers and cards made up. Promote our channels. We got 4 YouTube channels. BEN-HUR Trucking, Toadster Honda Element, Greens with Envy Homestead, and Doodles of Paradise Farms. And excuse me. Been working on promoting this one. It seems like it's one I'm having the best time on here recently. Pretty heavy into the Greens with Envy Homestead when we're up in Oklahoma, but now we're down here in Texas again. It's kind of fallen to the wayside because we're not doing much of the gardening, home building, that kind of thing. Prepping. I've been doing our RV adventures, where we deliver them and stuff on this channel, and also the Honda Element. That's the vehicle that we tow behind the RVs, deliver it and then drive it back. Glad y'all are keeping me company, keeping me awake. Other than that, it's a kind of a boring drive. Back in the day, the CB was just bouncing off the dash. It was always people talking, cutting up, stories being heard, and people that you knew, other drivers. Never knew them by the real name, just by their handles, but a lot of times they'd run the same routes that you do. Might see them on one end of the nation one week, the other end of the nation another week. Ain't like it used to be. Last time I was down here, I went to Chrome Shop 75. It's always good for some custom trucks in there. I like to go in there and sniff around in the Chrome Shop. Remember the good old days, all the chrome and lights and stuff I used to buy. And once in a while you get a chance to do an interview with a real truck driver in a real truck. 104 miles into Florida. Car on your shoulder. I don't really recommend anybody doing this, but I put Velcro on my steering wheel. And obviously got to be on the back of your phone too, but you stick my apps right there on the phone. I like to run, like I said before, my Waze and my Google Maps. Got them both right there at a glance. When I was in a big truck, I put them on the back of the visor, and you barely even have to take your eyes off the road. You just glance up, and there it is. Sorry, I keep turning my camera here. I guess I think I'm holding the CV and microphone. Haven't seen a single deer on this trip. Really strange. I mean, from Texas down to here. I seen I think one dead one on the side of the road. Thankfully, that bear went and did something off the side road. Haven't seen any problems out here. I'll let him out of here. There you go. Blink, blink, flash, flash. There you go. I got on my brakes, flashed him out, slowed down, let him out. Nothing on the radio, no light flashing, nothing. That's the new breed for you. It's not just you all wanting to play Super Trucker now too. .03. That's something I've never done, haul gasoline. not intentionally. I've hauled raw fuel on a saltwater in the oil field. It'd be residue, which is actually just about as dangerous as hauling gasoline full tank. Panama City. Dragging some chains. So the cat's kind of out of the bag. Our reason for taking this trip to Florida is my in-law's 60th wedding anniversary and my father-in-law's brother here in Florida that he hasn't seen in, I think, 16 years. So Tammy and I was trying to decide what we could get them for their anniversary. Started flirting with the idea of, well, let's just rent one of Randy's campers and Class A, take it down to Port A, Galveston, somewhere down in there. About 4 or 5 years ago, we rented out an Airbnb condo on the beach for their anniversary. We got to go down there and visit, around on the beach, and they just loved it, had a great time. So this time, since it was their 60th, we decided we would rent a camper and take them down to Galveston. Well, one thing kind of led to another, and it evolved and evolved. And we're talking about it also being Jerry's birthday, and it's Gene's brother. And so, what about just taking the Class A down to Florida? And it was like pulling teeth trying to convince him to let us do that. And Randy was really, really cool about letting us leave. We got his personal camper, so hey, you can't do better than that. But anyway, the plans finally started coming together, and we had the date set, the camper set, and camper paid for, ready to go. And then Milton happened. Actually, the Helene just happened. We thought, well, we still get through there. We'll get on by, and just about the time we decided to make it official and leave out, then Milton popped its ugly head and just happened to hit it perfectly into the coast where we're headed. So we get down there, and it's going to be first-hand ground zero on Hurricane Milton. So I'm sure we're going to have plenty of things to video and show y'all. You'll have to keep up with the events of the days. We're going to be down here for a week. The family's kind of personal and don't really want to be infringed on, so we probably won't be doing a lot of videoing of the family and stuff like that for YouTube anyway. So don't be expecting to see that, but there'll be plenty more to show you. So stay tuned. But that's what's got us coming down here. And we got some donations for a food bank down here. I think the food bank is called All Faiths Food Bank. Sorry, my camera's all over the place. I'm watching the road and the traffic. Adjust the AC up a little bit. a super trucker that won't flash you when you flash him over, flash you back. And no turn signals, of course. I sure would like to get some oysters before I go to bed. Fuel prices stayed pretty consistent coming across here. They were cheaper back in Texas, but I seen them $2.98 talking diesel. $2.98 in Oklahoma and Texas, and it started stepping up, but pretty much around $3.30, $3.40 a gallon. One thing about Velcroing that on your steering wheel, the reason it's not a good idea, if you was to get in an accident, airbags, you're going to be eating 2 cell phones. But these mirrors have had video cameras on them. You can see in that upper left-hand corner. I'm not sure, but I think the one on the right has one to watch you and one to watch the side traffic. So watch Watch when I change the camera positions here. And when you're towing a vehicle in the back, there's a camera in the back, so you can watch the tow vehicle the whole time you're driving. It'll still change over whenever you're changing lanes to the other camera, but it'll come back to the camera in the back if you're towing. Whenever I'm following other vehicles for a long distance, and like this guy, I've been inching up closer and closer to him, probably a half a mile an hour faster than what he's doing. Instead of just mashing on the gas and doing all that, I just kind of ease up underneath him when I finally get close enough to pass him, jump out there and then mesh on the gas. And if you know anything about racing, you're getting up underneath his draft, and it pulls him down and it'll slow him down as you whip slingshot around him. So watch how this works. Plus, he's a rock bucket, and I don't need one of his rocks in my windshield. I used to pull a belly dump like that. It's actually how I got my handle BEN-HUR. Years ago. Well, if you're regular followers of ours, you know we normally go to Burning Man every year. We didn't get to go this year. Had that stock market collapse, and our customer got hit real hard, so they had to pull out, and we didn't get to go this year. we don't ever go to the event other than dropping off the unit. But we always look forward to it every year. It pays real good. A lot of fun. And got to go to a balloon festival with it last year too. So. We're coming up on this RV. It's Class A. It's a real nice unit here. And he's towing the tow-behind vehicle. Well, in the RV world, that's called a towed, T-O-W-E-D, for a towed vehicle, but they nickname it towed, T-O-A-D. So if you're wondering about my look out, keep it right there. He was looking how pretty this one was. Anyway, that's how my little Honda Element got its nickname, because that's what we bought it for in the first place, to do that flat tow, to deliver these units. And so I call it the Toadster. Truck on its shoulder. Jimmy Buffett has a song called Useless Information, so there you go. There's you some more useless information. It's hard to tell, but it's really picked up wind again out here. I've hauled those containers before. In fact, I hauled one out to the 4.6s. Delivered it out there for the previous owners before Taylor Sheridan bought it. We delivered for Wayne out there. He's the like the main ranch foreman. Took it from Storybook Land in Plano, which they own that too, and delivered it out there. And they set us up in the bunkhouse. This just wasn't no bunkhouse. It's better than 50% of the people you know's house. And they had steaks waiting for, not just steaks, but 4.6 steak. I don't know if you ever had a 4.6 steak, but man, they were amazing. Next morning we woke up and visited with some of the ranch hands, and they brought some horses in. And it's been fun to just kind of hang out there for the whole day, but we had to get back. I got a small video of that. If I would have thought, I would have made a. Of course, this is before Yellowstone. I definitely would have made a bigger video about it. Okay, I think I'm beginning to see some hurricane damage here. You can see how some of these trees are stripped out. Could be old damage too. See some dead trees. 146. Funny, something keeps falling back there. 2 hours into Florida. Must be getting close to 3 o'clock, my nap time. May need to stop at the rest area. Hammer down. There's your old avalanche, honey. That's what we bought when we started doing the escorts. Did a good one. dead trees. Change fingers here. Those are multiple cameras and transponder readers. Tells them everything they want to know about these trucks. They will illegally search the inside of your truck, just like that. Thought he was coming out to get me.
What?
So I thought that full grown was coming out to get me. No, I think he thought I was a commercial vehicle that tripped the sensors. And I was in the hammer lane going around the scales. They just pulled a bunch of men, so he's probably going in there for reinforcements for inspections and stuff. Alright, back to work. Sure are quiet today. Leche-Cola. Coming up on a rest area or a truck stop. Make plans to get in that left-hand lane, 'cause a lot of times there's slow vehicles pulling out of there. You have to get over anyway. So, just a good practice. All clear. Now we're coming up on the 2-hour mark. So I got one whole lac. I got a lac per 2 hours. I like that. Anyway, we'll be back with more videos. Gonna build our audience a little bit. And I'd like to see some live chat going on. So, alright, this is part 2. We'll pull up a part 3 here in a little while and show you some more of Florida. Thanks for watching. As always, we'll see you down the road.